It's Big D Vinyl 2012 here on YouTube. We got, as promised, we've got a trip down memory lane coming up for you now. I remember the times back in the 80s and 90s when everybody used to go out and rent a video from their local video store. This video now is in 3 parts, and it's dedicated to that. It's dedicated to that now. And I've got a pick of my very best X-Rental VHS videos from the UK. Starting off with this one. This is 1989. 3 years after the original one was released, of The Fly, which starred Jeff Goldblum. This one stars Eric Stoltz and Daphne Zuniga. The Fly 2. This is a CBS Fox video release. 3 years after the original one that came out in 1986 with Jeff Goldblum. Surefire horror hit, rollercoaster ride of sheer terror, the state-of-the-art nightmare, Be Afraid, Be Very, Very Afraid. Tells the story of Dr. Seth Bundle, who was a brilliant scientist, who was led to the horrific mutation of the man and insect, the brundlefly. The smash hit horror sequel from 1989, there from 20th Century Fox. That's The Fly 2. Next up is this one. Don't forget by the way to post a comment down below if you remember any of these videos. If you remember renting any of these from when everybody used to go out and rent videos from their local video store. This is one that tells the true story of Diane Fossey from 1988. In the land of hearts, wonder and danger, she would follow a dream, fell in love and risk her life, save the mountain gorillas from extinction. Telling the true story of Diane Fossey, as played by Sigourney Weaver, right here, who also starred in Ghostbusters 1 and 2. And Aliens and Alien 3. It's called Gorillas in the Mist, which was the true story of Diane Fossey. That's a Warner Home Video release, that one. Next up is one that I just recently bought on DVD as well from Amazon. It was a Spanish import, but it plays in English. This is the original version though. About 3 kids who are on the way to California to a World Nintendo Video Game Championship. It stars Fred Savage, there he is there, and it's called The Wizard. It's from the original release here from Guild Home Video UK. Corey Woods, Fred Savage, younger half-brother Jimmy, is withdrawn to himself and is in danger of being sent to a home. When Jimmy finally impresses an interest in something, going to California, and later a remarkable talent for playing video games, Corey definitely decides to give up the boy this time of his life by running away with him to Los Angeles and entering him into the National Video Games Championship. Along the way, the boys, joined by plucky young beauty and pursued by a mercenary bounty hunter of runaway children, are confronted by the sometimes harsh and sometimes hilarious realities on life of the road. The stars Fred Savage, who starred in the 80s or 90s, I think, late 80s, early 90s comedy series called The Wonder Years. That's Fred Savage. Great film that, from 1989, from Guild Home Video. That's The Wizard, right there. 1988 is this one that most of you would have rented. I know I did, and I've got the X-Rental tape right here. This is the original X-Rental cassette of Steven Spielberg's Batteries Not Included. It starred Hugh Croyne and Jessica Tandy, which also starred in Cocoon. as well. This is from Universal CIC Home Video. 5 ordinary people needed a miracle. Then one night Fay Riley left the window open. When on unscrupulous real estate developer sends thugs into a deteriorating tenement to get rid of their last 5 tenants, they need nothing short of a miracle to stay where they are. In this delightful fantasy presented by Steven Spielberg, little stands between the brave holdouts and the street. Well, those little Martian robots. Great comedy great comedy fantasy adventure there that starred Hugh Croyne and Jessica Tandy from 1987 or 1988, I think. That's batteries not included. Right here. And also, I believe next month is the latest James Bond film coming your way in cinemas. If you've probably not heard of it already, it's called A Time to Die. It stars Daniel Craig. Timothy Dalton is one of them here now that starred in 1988 smash hit. Here now. The James Bond film License to Kill. Timothy Dalton. This is from Warner Home Video. Back in 1988. It's rated 15. Nobody does it better still. James Bond is on a personal vendetta. A vicious drug baron murdered the wife of a close friend, Felix Leiter. But Bond is ordered to stop pursuing Franz Sanchez and let the CIA deal with the matter. When Bond refuses, all revokes his license and kill, demanding 007 to keep out of American affairs. Disclosing his identity to Sanchez, Mexican crime cartel, explaining his gun is now for hire. Bond enlists pilot Pam Bouvier and weapons expert Q to aid this revenge mission. Timothy Dalton has a license to thrill in the hard-edged Bond film unlike any other in the successful series. That was released in 1989 from Warner Home Video. There, it's License to Kill. Also from 1989, this was proved to be one of the hit box office Christmas movies, and it still is, still going on strong. You know which one I'm talking about. This is it. It was a Christmas action movie that back then. It's Die Hard with the one and only Bruce Willis, with suspense, excitement, and adventure on every level. This is a CBS Fox home video release. Superb, terrific, action-packed entertainment of a par with Lethal Weapon or Aliens. Huge explosions, terrifying stunts, superb acting. It's got the lot. A roller coaster ride of nerve-stretching suspense and action. Christmas Eve in LA and the party action's about to explode on the 40th floor. It stars Bruce Willis. Also stars Alan Rickman and Bonnie Bedelia as Bruce Willis is cop, New York cop John McClane in this one. Great action movie. It's 126 minutes approximately, rated 18, and that's 1989 from CBS Fox Video. Also from 1990, had a remake of this one, but this one is the best one ever. 1990, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger in that sci-fi hit smash Total Recall. They stole his mind and now he wants it back. This is a Guild home video release. And co-starred Sharon Stone in this one as well. Michael Ironside and Rachel Ticotin. It's Total Recall from 1990. Now the director. Now, if anybody remembers the Christmas short classic called The Snowman, and the follow-up to that, The Snowman and the Snow Dog, he's also done other animated shorts as well. But this one definitely did take the biscuit from 1987, this one. It's called When the Wind Blows. A brilliant movie, this. It was based on these two old couple here, played by the voice of Peggy Ashcroft and Sir John Mills. The soundtrack was by the legendary David Bowie. The trying to reinvent the Second World War when there was a bomb. This is from 1987, this. Extraordinary and original. When the Wind Blows received outstanding attention from the press as a best-selling book. Now it's an unforgettable film. When the Wind Blows tells how Jim and Hilda Bloggs, a typical English retired couple, deal with the approach of the nuclear bomb. Hilda, who thinks fallout is what you do with the army, determined to get the washing in despite the 3-minute warning. Jim, having lived through the World War II Blitz, has the Dunkirk spirit and starts collecting essential supplies, which includes 2 packets of ginger nuts, a tin of pineapple chunks, and an endless cups of tea. That's from 1987. Great animated movie, that, from Raymond Briggs, called When the Wind Blows. And from 1990, they starred in they starred in numerous of films together. One especially called Silver Streak, back in the 80s, and they got reunited again in 1990 for this one, which was one was Deaf and the other one was Blind. It's had See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Stars the comedy stand-up genius Richard Pryor there, and Gene Wilder, who also starred in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This is from 1990, or 1989, sorry. TriStar release and 2020 Vision UK home video release. And starred Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor, unique chemistry explodes onto the screen again with this hilarious comedy hit See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Wally, Richard Pryor from Brewster's Millions and Superman 3, and Dave, Gene Wilder from Blazing Saddles and Woman in Red, are the opposite as two buddies can be. Wally is brash, loudmouth and blind. Dave is quiet, mild-mannered and deaf. Both of them are individual disaster stones. Together they are even worse. These guys may be senseless, but they're certainly not stupid. Great hit comedy, that. That's with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. See No Evil, Hear No Evil. And to finish off part one is another hit from 1987, which everybody would have rented. I know I did certain times, and here's the original release right here. It stars Jack Nicholson, singing superstar sensation Cher, Susan Sarandon and Michelle Pfeiffer. It's called The Witches of Eastwick. And it's won a home video release there. This is the original VHS UK X-Rental copy. And the storyline goes like this. For three suburban, unmarried New England women, life has become very routine, and the lack of a man in their lives is the root of all their frustration. No one of their ritual Thursday cocktail parties they wish for Mr. Right. And the very next day he appears in the skies of the amusing devil-may-care Daryl Van Horn, who sets about bedding each of them. Soon the foursome are floating around his mansion and swinging from chandeliers in such a state of ecstasy they fawn to see the storm clouds gathering as their scandalous behaviour rocks the small community. But there is something Van Horn isn't telling them, something about where he actually came from, like hell. And so begins a supernatural battle of wits between the sexes. That's a one-home video UK release. The running time is 114 minutes, rated 18. It stars Cher, Susan Sarandon, Michelle Pfeiffer and Jack Nicholson as Daryl Van Horn. That's the Witches of Eastwick. So that's part one of my that's part one of the first few of my X-Rental UK video releases. A trip down memory lane there. I'll be having more coming soon in parts 2 and 3. So look out for those, and I'll see you again very, very soon.